Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dust on Gang, doing some streaming here on Twitch tonight, preparing for an RPTQ here in 3 or 4 weeks or so, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, so I need to make a quick decision if I'm going to audible to Grixis Shadow, so we're going to do some testing with GTS tonight. Normally I play a Burn or Jeskai Control / Miracles, so this is a look because the Burn deck, which is my primary consideration, has not been performing well. So the list is pretty standard fare. You have your Death Shadows, your Delve Threats, your Snapcaster Mages, discard spells and Inquisition and Thoughtseize, as well as Stubborn Denial to disrupt your opponent, Serum Visions and Thought Scour to filter through your deck, Team or Battle Rage to help get your kills quicker, and then a bunch of Shock and Fetch lands to get your life to the low for your Death Shadow. One difference between this and the last couple lists I've run is there's no Faithless Looting, no Mishra's Bauble, just Serum Visions, Thought Scour, see how that feels. Other than that, main deck's kind of normal. Sideboard, Stubborn Denial for matchups where Negate Effect is good, Ceremonious Rejection for things like Tron and Eldrazi, as well as the various KCI decks, etc. Surgical Extraction, whenever you're needing targeted graveyard removal for Leyline in the Void, when you're facing off against straight graveyard decks, Liliana the Last Hope. In grindier matchups, Young Pyromancer when you need additional threats against control decks. Also, when you're fearing too much graveyard hate, you can kind of sidestep it with a Young Pyromancer. Couple Anger of the Gods here for go wide decks, which can be problems for Grixis Death Shadow, a Dreadbore when you need to answer Planeswalkers or problematic creatures, and then an Engineered Explosives for another Pseudo Sweeper, and also can answer problematic various permanents. So let us hop into some Qs here. A couple 2-man Qs since I really don't have time for a full league this evening. Alright, so a couple fetch lands, a Thoughtseize. I'm pretty sure this is a keep, even though we're basically on a mulligan here with one of these Gurmag Anglers. I think we keep it. A little bit risky, obviously, having a cantrip or a Thought Scour would be nice, but we do have a couple of creatures to answer our opponent's first couple plays. I'm going to put the card to the top of their library. So it's possible we should wait to Thoughtseize until they draw that card, but let's see what they got going on over here. Okay, some style of Blue Moon deck, so I think we just take Kiki Jiki, pass the turn. So it's possible we should have mulliganed this hand, but grab a Steam Vents here. Another fetch land. Next turn would be nice to be able to cast that Gurmag Angler. Obviously trying to represent a counterspell here. Maybe that hand was a mulligan. Shaman. Probably one of the cards they top there. Hopefully they try to go for like a cryptic command here. Looks like a cryptic to me. Five. I guess we jam Gurmag and hope they don't have a remand here. See what they got over there. So they have one card in hand, it's a Spell Snare. Alright, so Kiki combo. Cards do we want here? Probably interested in Stubborn Denial. Don't know that we want too much else other than that. And pushes are fine, they're not fantastic. Liliana could potentially be okay, but I don't like tapping out too much against our deck. We bring in one Liliana and cut the two pushes because it's hard to always maintain Revolt against them for the stuff we actually want to remove. Not much, War Dog. How you doing? I think this hand's pretty decent, just missing a heavy hitter threat here. Got Thought Scour here on end step. Wraith and a couple lands. Big fishy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll have to wait until next turn to deploy a big fish. Oh, why do you think your internet's lagging? Think it's on my end? Blood Moon, huh? I like their ambition, but go grab a Watery Grave here. Get Big Fishy out. Huh, interesting. Opponent with a very aggressive use of trying to Blood Moon us. How much do I try to fight over this? Guess we try Snapcaster Mage. Decent chance this gets met by like a Spell Snare or a, whatchamacallit? Remand. Okay. Shaman. Pestermite's an adorable card. It's certainly a consideration. Something I have to determine in the next 2 weeks to be able to borrow the cards in time. So I haven't been too happy with burn the last the last week or so. So going for Snapcaster Roast here. Sure. Does that allow me to... I think we tap with Snapcaster Mage here. See if we can get our opponent to trade off resources. Yeah, it was not a very pleasant experience. I mean, Burn goes through those stages. That's why I don't generally like to play a ton of the same deck in a row. Is you go through those ups and downs that are just a natural part of Magic, and it gets very concerning. So, Thoughtseize, see what you're working with over there. Yep, can bolt my face, that's fine. Got a land, cool. Just going to aggressively Stubborn Denial that, because we know that our opponent's sitting on nothing besides that, so. Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, I'll be honest with you. And GDS is one of the decks that it's like, I don't have a ton of experience with it, but I have probably 20 or 30 matches under my belt overall. So it's like, it's a deck that I can audible to without feeling terrible. Yeah, I mean, the deck has a lot of good matchups, don't get me wrong. The frustrating part with Burn is you have no control over... Okay, we're up against goblins. This should be interesting. Don't think it's very likely we're going to take anything here, so I'm just going to go ahead, do that, cycle this, draw another land. Humans is alright, Jeskai is fine. Those aren't the matchups I'm really worried about. Like, Stubborn Denial is a solid card. So, this is kind of awkward. Yeah, the problem, like, in RPTQ, it's kind of hard to, like, predict 100% what you'll play against. Spember's another solid draw here. Go grab Basic Island now, since I don't need red mana. At least not quite yet. I just want to widen my perspective beyond 2 decks, so I'm going to be hitting testing really hard the next two-ish weeks. So, So what are your thoughts on the format? Like, you play a little bit wider variety of decks than I do. A lot of people seem to think this format's just kind of not all that great. Like, well, it's good, but it's like there's a lot of variance going on right now. I think we go ahead and take a little bit of damage here to start killing their blockers. Do I actually play out this Street Wraith? I think that's actually a consideration, isn't it? Maybe not this turn, maybe next turn. Start activating Tassiger here. Tree Emissary can definitely be scary here. Especially if they have a Bushwhacker. Feels like this might be a Bushwhacker turn. Wow. You have the Bushwhacker to go with it. Yep. So are we just dead? Pretty sure we're just dead here. As long as they remember to click on their combat step. Block here. Even if we find a kill spell, we're just dead. So. Alright, we definitely want Liliana. We want Young Pyromancer. We want Anger of the Gods. Definitely want Engineered Explosives. We are not as interested in these Thoughtseizes. Battle Rage is probably a necessary evil. About the rest of our cards. Probably cut like one Snapcaster Mage, one Serum Visions. I think this is a keep. Sorry, man, that sucks. Guess we force them to have the bolt here. It's one less resource they can use against us. They have bolt, they have bolt. Nope. If we get to untap with this Pyro, it could be pretty good for us. As long as they don't go like crazy triple Burning Tree Emissary into nonsense. Oh, just the frustrating part about Burn is not being able to have any real say over your draw step. And as much as I hate to admit it, Space Marine's right about certain aspects of Burn. It's definitely a very powerful deck, but it's a deck that can... I think we both want both of these cards. And Death Shadow is kind of a happy medium between Log Fanatic. That one's annoying. Get another elemental here. Well, I'm sure he'll watch this video, so it's not like we're never going to tell him he's right about something, but... Maybe I should have been a little more aggressive with my life total thing here. Let's play this preemptively. That way they can't really... Maybe I should have just kept up stubborn to now here. Not sure what this is. It's going to be the emissary turn. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be the emissary turn. They need a red mana for here. Bushwhacker, sure. Another Bushwhacker. He didn't kick that one, that's interesting. It's a lot of damage. That's kind of awkward here. That's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 2. No, he doesn't watch the Twitch streams, but I record on here and then post them to YouTube. So yeah, pretty much anything that I broadcast, I end up putting on YouTube one way or another. Alright, so block there, block there, block there. Let that connect and then kill them? So with how they're playing, they're definitely going for the wind-up kills, which is kind of risky as a Goblins player, but at the same time they don't want to let me one-for-one all their crap down. So does that mean I want more copies of discard spells? It's kind of debatable there. The Delve threats are fine, but they are bringing in Tor mods. Maybe I should just go as is. Don't think any of these other cards, other than maybe like a Dismember or a Dreadbore, make sense. So kind of just go with what we got. Stubborn Denials are a necessary evil against Goblin Grenade and such. So as much as their deck's only running like 8 to 10 counterable spells, those 8 to 10 can be extremely obnoxious. So how was the rest of your day at work, man? One, two, three, five. I guess we keep this. Hand's a little risky against them. Can't feel it. I feel like I want some amount of whatchamacallits in my deck, though. Faithless Lootings. There's a young Peasy. Okay. So I just take this hit on the chin here? I think we can just afford to take this hit on the chin. Yeah, that always sucks. Like here, we gave the job to the guy that didn't ask for more money, and then here, take over his job for him while you're at it. Five, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponent's floating out quite a bit. Great synergy card there, huh? Trying to hold back enough that we don't get nailed by their stupid go wide plan. Thought Scour. So this puts 3 cards in the graveyard. 4, 5? Alright, so we're 1 short of playing a Tassiger this turn. Surprised our opponent didn't activate Ramanat Runes there at the end step. So we know we have a Bolt on top. Alright, that's an easy way to get a win, I guess. But I mean, that's the thing with GDS, is you gotta kind of manage the in-between stuff. So, like, what are your goals work-wise, Wardog? Like, do you want to still move up in the company, or are you, like, kind of resigned to looking for something else, or... Like, I'm still not entirely sure. You've said before, but I don't remember exactly what business you guys are in. This will definitely be the last match with GDS tonight. Gonna move on to working on some more homework. This is a risky hand. I think we keep it, but it does feel a little land heavy here. Go ahead and alright, looks like we're up against some type of rock deck or Jund. We're gonna lose our Death Shadow here, which kinda sucks. Definitely kept too many lands here. See if we get Liliana here. Yeah, looks like this is a Liliana. Yep, scavenging is. Okay. Okay, so we're just dead. Cool. So did you ever consider going into your, well, and where are you currently at if you want to move to Wisconsin? Aren't you in, like, you're near the Cincinnati area, aren't you? I'm trying to remember. Somebody's near the Cincinnati area. Cards are we less interested in? TBR isn't the greatest in this matchup. Southern Illinois. Sounds a little better. These are the kind of matchups I gotta get better at if I'm gonna consider playing this at a RPTQ. We bottom both those. Really need to find a threat. Sure, would you like my cantrip, my stubborn denial, or one of my 2 kill spells? Looks like you're clearing the way for Liliana. I think I'm interested in both of these. The question is, what order? Probably Thoughtseize first. My opponent has Liliana, they have Liliana. It's unfortunate. Yep, looks like this is a Liliana. Yep, just a fatal push. Sure. Hold that discard spell owner. Actually, Opponent's playing out Bobby, obviously expecting it to die. I think we use the dismember here. sitting on over there, friend? Probably a bunch of kill spells. Trophy, Bloodbraid Elf, and Dark Confidant. Needless to say, I don't think we're winning this one. Assassin's Trophy does make this matchup probably a good bit worse for... delightful. Not a terrible card. Our opponent still does have an Assassin's Trophy in hand, so this is only going to get us so far, unfortunately. Well, at this point, I don't know that we actually need that many factual because, like, our opponent has another trophy in hand, has a Dark Confidant in hand. Okay, sure. Trophy this Liliana. Gives us one of our cleaner answers to Liliana here. Good old Snape. So now our opponent, the only card in our opponent's hand we know about for sure is Dark Confidant. Yep. I think we just play Street Wraith as a 3/4 can't be blocked. We we might get there. I don't know. Probably get a Thought Scour back here, would be my guess. Guess Inquisition makes sense. Question is, do we block with this Goyf if they attack with it? Another Goyf. Leon of the Veil is certainly good here. Not sure I would have played my land there if I were my opponent. Pay 1 mana, get a 1/1, sure. Mm-hmm. I didn't think we were winning that game. I'm not gonna lie there. So, do I bring in Leyline the Void against a Tarmogoyf deck? I think that might be a little ambitious. Excuse me. I think our bigger problem, honestly, is Liliana of the Veil. Brand Snap, maybe go down 1 Street Wraith. Still keeps feeling like I want a couple copies of Faithless Looting. Sure. Put them all against a 4? Well, Alright, well, sometimes you win. Yeah, that was kind of my thought process. But unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to even play that third game because our opponent just mulliganed to Oblivion. But guess that happens sometimes. Only takeaway, I probably want to reconfigure to get some Faithless Lootings / Mishra's Baubles in the list. I did like the feel of those last time I played them. Probably like 2 Faithless Lootings and some amount of Baubles. Beyond that, I think I like the main deck for the most part. Maybe to go down 1 Snapcaster Mage. And then I think the sideboard's pretty close to where I want it already. Maybe having like 1 more Dreadbore or 1 more Terminate-esque effect over maybe the Surgical Extraction. I don't know if you need 5 Graveyard Hate cards. Might be a little ambitious. It's like a second Dreadbore for problematic Planeswalkers like Jace or that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we beat Blue Moon, we beat Goblins, and we beat Jund. Jund kind of had an asterisk to it, though. Though I think our hand was pretty well set up that game 3. But, yeah, deck felt pretty good. We'll definitely have to give it some more testing. But thanks everyone for tuning in, both here on Twitch and over on the YouTube channel. Just a friendly plug, if you're new to the channel, either here or on YouTube, please consider subscribing. If you like what you're seeing, give us a follow here on Twitch, and give us a thumbs up over there on YouTube. Want to thank War Dog for hanging out. Hope he's having a good afternoon. Sorry he's had such a... Oh, I'll be back on later, War Dog. I was just streaming here on Twitch for this. I'll probably stream like a draft or one of Foz's decks tonight over on YouTube. But wanted to get a quick stream before dinner. So, alright, man. Have a good evening, and I hope everybody has a good night. This has been Dusk for Dusted on Gaming.